and you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Theme of presidential music. It seems like this presidential campaign is coming down to the wire, especially in swing states. Swing states typically can, depict on who will win the presidency. And those states that are typically swing states are places like Michigan, Ohio, and of course, Pennsylvania. And this year, Democrats are afraid because their number one neglected community inside of the party might be voting for someplace else or someone else. And that neglected group is black men. Black men have their own needs, wants, and desires. And we kind of saw that once the Black manosphere community came online. It was an outcry of so much frustration, hurt, and shame living in the black community, always being talked down to and never being talked to directly as men. And so that sentiment of the brothers feeling that way have carried on into spite towards the Democratic Party, or strong chagrin towards the Democratic Party. And Democrats understand this because, well, they have done nothing for black men to get their vote, despite the fact that black men loyally voted for the Democratic Party. And instead of addressing the needs of African American men, you get this.
Now, there's a lot of black men in here, and I don't mean to, not talk to other people, but this is important. Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number one. Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he did not deliver on. And we got to make sure we help black men understand that. So that's why I'm here, to make sure I help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
And even from respectable rappers, you get this.
What you think about politics? Who you voting for? I don't think about politics. I'm voting for the Kamala, though, because she's a black lady. Damn, that's dumb. You just gonna vote for her because she black? Yeah, I'm gonna vote for her because she black, because a lot of black women have marched and tried to do all kind of to be having this right today to even reach this level. I want all the young black daughters and of the future to believe they can be the president one day. Damn, but Trump gave us $1,200. Why you not voting for the white man? Well, I don't knock white people or any other race for voting for Trump or whatever reason they got, or whoever, even if you black, vote for whoever you want to vote for. But me, I'm gonna vote for the black lady just because I want to ride for the black lady. She not even black, she Indian. Since when did anybody with any black in them not be black?
But now a former president is going to berate black men for not voting for Kamala Harris. And this is interesting. This is a president who, from 2008, 2016, by the way, who had Joe Biden in his office as vice president, did not want to even endorse Kamala Harris himself. If you can remember that, Kamala Harris did not get an endorsement from Barack Obama. And it was almost like he was forced to give an endorsement a few weeks later, because Barack Obama doesn't like Kamala Harris, but Barack Obama loves the Democratic Party. So he pulls up in Pennsylvania in a multi-state campaign tour in Pittsburgh, and he addresses black men.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got health care, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out, about sitting out, about sitting out, about sitting out.
So the first thing that Barack Obama is doing here is he's trying to align with these black men. He's telling them, listen, here is a candidate that looks like you, that went and grew up like you. Stop the show, which is not necessarily true, Barack Obama. Her father was a PhD, I believe at the University of Illinois, Champaign, then taught at Stanford University. Her mother is Indian. She grew up and lived in Canada. So no, she didn't grow up like us, and neither did you. You were raised by your white grandparents. Can I get an ooh sound effect? As Brother Tariq Nasheed would say, you guys are tethering. But anyways, we still love you. We still black, right? I mean, you have an African-American wife, so I guess that's good enough. But the reality is you're trying to make her experience the African-American experience, which that's not the case. Her experience is not the African-American experience. And you're talking about she's looking to do things that concern you. The Healthcare Act, cheaper prices on food. Now, let me just talk about some of these things, right? Have you guys ever heard of Bidenomics? Now, remember, Kamala Harris is she's the vice president. Let's look at the prices of the foods that happened under the administration of Kamala Harris. If you look here, we see orange juice was $2.99 January 2020. Well, now in January 2024, maybe it's even more expensive now, but it was $4.29. Coffee, 12 ounces, $6.99. It's now $8.99 as of January 2024. So really, Bidenomics, things went up under Kamala Harris. So she's trying to lower prices. How? When she was a part of a particular office that raised prices. And when you're talking about she's looking for the concerns of you black men, well, what are those concerns? And I'll tell you that he doesn't know. Like Barack Obama was so busy lying and trying to find his words, he didn't know what he was talking about. And the reason why those black men's concerns cannot be met because simply they don't have the opportunity to state those concerns, and nobody cares about the concerns of African-American men. This is the reason why when you get guys like Kevin Samuels or black men who've talked about these things for the last decade, black men such as myself, black men such as Dr. T.S. Johnson, Dr. Ronald O'Neill, BGS Itmore, other guys like that, it's considered hate speech. And, we strongly dislike the black community, or we strongly dislike black women. But the reality is that you guys really don't care about the African-American experience, the African-American male experience. And you want to be able to tell us what our issues are. And that's exactly what he was doing there. He wanted to tell them, hey, Kamala Harris has already figured out what your issues are. So don't even worry about it. Just come and vote, because she's already figured this out for you. So just don't even worry about it, because remember, she looks like you and she behaves like you. So therefore, that's strong enough to get your vote, although you've never gotten anything from her or the Democrats in the past. But in the secondary clip, he tries a new strategy during this speech.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that, because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting.
So he starts off by saying the other person that you might be voting for has a history of not caring about you at all. And I believe that the reason why you black men have a problem voting for Kamala Harris is because you really are misogynistic. That's the case. You guys have a problem with women. You don't really want a woman president, but it's always been the women that have stood by you. It's always been the women who have taken care of you. It's always been the women who have protected you black men. In other words, I mean, hey, you black men who are so often in jail and can't do anything for yourselves, it's been these women. Without them, where would you be? And well, Barack, I mean, yeah, women do play a role in supporting the black community, and black men are in the black community, but we can also see how that has been a hindrance to black men and not allowing black men to develop to become the leaders that can in turn protect black women. So in other words, you guys owe it to let black women lead you, simply because without them, you would be nothing. Where another argument can be made completely from that, which I will not waste my time on doing that. Many black men understand that, and we don't want to be considered to be quote unquote misogynistic.
Got him!
The reality is that a lot of people are not buying this, and I went into the comment section and it was crazy in this video, okay? Cobby Sparks says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Tiffany Curtis, he did not endorse Harris at first. Now he is mad at black folks ain't down with the op. Got it. Glove 8084, stand strong black men and don't fall for the okie doke. The other brother, Oluwajami Gordon, he's really off key. Democrats choose to leave the concerns of black men off the ticket and demand we just vote Democrats based on race. And that's all it is. And let me just say this. I'm very proud of my community. I mean, I love the black community. I love the Pan-African world. But outside of us being black, there is something that needs to be said about adding value to each other's life, okay? Otherwise, we're just black. And that's the reality of identity in racial politics when you just vote based on race. I mean, look at Tiffany Henyard over in Dalton, and what do you get for voting based on race? What do you get when you put, Brandon Johnson in Chicago? I mean, what do you get when you do that? It's just stupid, and you don't get anything because nobody appreciates what you're doing and they take you for granted. Black men are tired of just simply being taken for granted, and they want more. And I believe out of other voters, just like, you have black women that have their own issues that are different. You have the Jewish community, you have Asians, you have Indians. You have so many people that have their own issues that want to be met. And I believe that black men have issues that need to be met. And Kamala Harris doesn't want to meet those issues. And clearly you don't care. So why are they voting for her? And why are you up there lying? Like, can you stop? Basically what I'm saying is, Barack,
stop the cap.
Well, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Already put your follow, you discard the bell. We're out.